Hail to the fellowship, and thanks for tuning in. I am your nerdy normie reviewer, the Elvin Barber, and joining me, as always, is the lore loyalist himself, TC, the Token Cripple.
Hi, everybody.
And we are those guys. So today we are reviewing, I would say National Treasure. I think it's more like a natural disaster, to be perfectly honest. Natural
Yes.
disaster, edge of dog shit is what I'm gonna call this entire series going further. Um, episode 1, wow, that was something. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts, TC?
Um, just what you said pretty much covers it. Add a head smack, and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, this is certainly not reinventing the wheel here. So I started taking notes, and then I just stopped. It got to a point where I couldn't even do it anymore. But this is how far I got. So
Okay.
I said narratively, the plot was full of holes, and the production looks cheap. Definitely got CW vibes.
Yep.
The dialogue was woeful at best, and there was I did put subtle digs, but they weren't even subtle. Like they were just like straightforward digs
weren't.
at U.S. politics and the patriarchy, which they repeated nonstop.
Let's see. What was it? Hamilton. How the one character wasn't in Hamilton, and she should have been. She wanted women
she
to
should have
vote.
been. Right. Right.
And then the other one goes, it's something like darn patriarchy, and I'm like,
yeah, darn patriarchy was referenced a lot. Go ahead.
I like the National Treasure movies. Can we just can somebody invent a neuralizer, please, so I can forget the show ever existed?
Yeah, I also love the movies, and I was like, oh, they're coming out with a show. This could be interesting. And then they're like, oh yeah, Nick Cage is in it, and I'm like, oh, like this isn't. They could have brought him back. They could have brought him and put him in it. They just had to check all the boxes from what I've seen.
Yep. And they had to bring up. Did they bring up magic? If I remember right.
Did they?
Weren't the relics supposed to be magical or some shit?
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, probably. This whole story was so convoluted. They probably did bring up magic. To be perfectly honest, I don't even remember. That's how bad it was. Yeah, definitely got CW vibes. As far as the characters go, honestly, I didn't mind the main character, Jess. Like,
no, she was fine.
Compared to the others, she was okay. She was likable. The rest of them were insufferable. Like, could not stand any of them. The Asian guy, I actually didn't mind him, but I noticed because he wasn't in the show very long. So I was like, okay, maybe that's why. And he actually seemed to be the more reasonable of the entire group as well.
Have you noticed a pattern that the more reasonable a character is, the more vilified they end up being?
Exactly. Yeah, I am starting to see that pattern. I am starting to see that pattern. Yeah. I got the sense that all the characters that were created were only manifested to give Jess, that positive reinforcement. Like they're all created just to let her know how great she is. It's like, don't worry, Jess, you're awesome. You're amazing. Like, we suck, but you're great.
Well, the one character, the the black chick, she's supposed to be really, really good with computers. Yet her computer gets hacked by a weak sauce virus. I'm sorry, but weren't you the one who did the security on your computer? Which means if it broke through it, either you suck or it's not weak sauce. Which is it?
Yeah. Somebody's incompetent here. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Also, I don't know if you remember, there's a part where Jess is solving the puzzle in that Freemasons sanctuary, and the black chick starts recording her. Was that like live? Was because
no, that wasn't live. But remember,
Okay.
in episode 1, in episode 1, she wanted to record them opening the letter to a treasure map live. So I'm like,
right.
either it's a map to the treasure, in which case you want to not advertise that you have it, or
Right.
it's not, and you look like a freaking moron.
Dude, there was so much. I'm like, oh my god.
You
Of
don't want this shit
course.
posted online.
Oh man, especially when your friend is an immigrant, right? Who could just be deported
A
very
still
quickly.
illegal immigrant.
Yeah,
She
still
came as a
illegal.
baby. Like, don't they have
Right.
like naturalization clauses or whatever? Aren't
Yeah,
those a thing? Or am I wrong?
I thought they were. I don't know. My knowledge on that in that particular area is pretty murky. But I'm like, oh, okay. So she's not a citizen. Like, so she came here when she was a baby, and her mom just didn't give a fuck about getting her papers. Like, okay, all right, I guess.
I mean,
And then
seriously,
so like
baby. Like,
I don't know.
Go
So
ahead,
like I would question. No, you're right. So in a lot of instances, like I would be like, oh, okay. So like mom came here illegally herself. So like maybe she just didn't want to or didn't feel like she could get legal documents for her child. Like I don't know. But then because I'm like, well, maybe mom just wasn't educated enough, right? But then toward the end of episode 2, I know we're jumping way ahead, but toward the end of
Yeah.
episode 2, mom ends up writing this fucking thesis or paper or whatever, and I'm like, so
that's
clearly
like a
mom's
doctoral dissertation or
yeah, so
yeah.
clearly mom's fucking smart, like she knows quite a bit. So what's going on? I don't know.
And if being a Mason is as important as the show always likes to, as the National Treasure did too. But if being a Mason is that huge of a deal, you mean to tell me they couldn't go to a Mason lodge and be like, Vulcan handshake, we need papers, by the way, because we were attacked in Mexico.
Exactly. There would have been
If they
some
have the
way.
resources that they claim to, there would have been a way to get the papers.
Most definitely. So yeah, episode 1. God, man, it was not good. I feel like there was a lot that happened, but then there wasn't a lot that happened at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it was just like woefully uneventful. Go ahead.
They got disqualified from the escape room. An escape room that no one's broken out of.
No one's ever broken out of this escape room yet. Thanks to Jess.
That's not a mark of a good. That's not a good escape room. Like the goal of an escape room isn't literally to be unescapable. It's supposed to be so you have fun figuring it out.
Yeah, figuring out the clues and working together as a team. Yeah, that. Yeah,
you're not actually supposed to make it unsolvable.
No, you're not. But they had to do that so they could show just how amazing. Just to show how just is the bestest ever when it comes to mathematical things and solving puzzles. That's why that scene was even thrown into the show so people can see, oh, she's great. She's great. She can solve everything.
I just can't get over the fact that they're like, it's an unsolvable. It's an unsolvable puzzle. Like, that's not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes so hard at that. Even the what scene? Oh man, now I'm forgetting fucking scenes because that's how great this show was.
She works at a
storage facility. Her boss is giving off. Yep, her boss is giving off MAGA vibes for sure. He even has the red hat as well, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah, toxic through and through. Of course, he has to be a dumb white male. Of course, he's in there, dumb and toxic, and
who fires her after she trades shifts with somebody. When you trade shifts, like, that's made official. It's not something you can just do. It's not something you do in a back room. Like, you have to, like, both sides acknowledge it. That's the thing. So
yeah, and usually you do. As I say, usually you let the boss know as well. Like, you just don't trade shifts and call it a fucking day. Like, I don't know.
Point being, there's no way she should have been liable for the fact that her most likely toxic white coworker didn't show up.
No, she shouldn't have been liable for that. She shouldn't have been. But they had to show the toxicity of the white male and being like, can't, why are you here? And then he goes, I forgot to call you. Like, really? That's fucked.
And plus, he fired her for one instance where she actually has, like, I presume some sort of evidence that this was in fact the case.
Yeah.
And from what we're given to understand, it's not like she has a record of it.
Yeah, she seems like she goes to work regularly. So. Yeah, it was a one-time thing, and apparently, that was enough. That was enough. But she did figure out who the one storage unit belonged to. I am Phasma was the code name used, and I thought it was real convenient how they tracked the owner down as well. Like, she's like, oh, they're like, oh, he's a Freemason, and they're like, well, how can we narrow there's 20,000 in Louisiana alone. How do we narrow this down? Oh, there was a flag that they give out to Marines and soldiers that passed away.
And I still don't think that would have narrowed it down nearly enough. Even if that,
I don't think so either.
Even if you assume all that stuff is true, you'd still have probably 1,000 to go through.
Exactly. Yeah, for them, it knocked it all the way down to 1. Isn't that crazy? Conveniently.
That's
super easy. Super easy.
Barely an inconvenience. Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's a pet peeve of mine for like any like investigative show. When they're like, oh my god, it's gonna be so hard to break, to narrow down. And then like literally the next sentence is, I got something.
We figured it out. We cross-referenced this with this. And it's like, what? What? You cross-referenced what? Something
and it's
ridiculous.
Amazing. It always gives them one result. It gives them one result, maybe 2. It's like, try adding a couple zeros to that number, please.
Like, how about we try to make it more realistic and then, stop being lazy and really, be more of a competent writer and then try to figure this out instead of fucking, it's like, oh yeah, cross-referenced it and we figured it out. It's the one guy.
Also, she's so worried about getting like a misdemeanor for Billy or whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. Karen. We'll call her Karen.
Karen. Yeah, no, yeah.
So they're trying so hard to get like a misdemeanor on Karen. And I'm like, wouldn't it be easier to get a felony charge on the people who tried to impersonate federal officers? I think that would be that would be more of a bigger deal.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that first and foremost. Especially since they're walking around with the badges on. Like, come on. Come on. Come on.
Be like, can I see your badge? Oh, signed by the wrong person. You're coming with me. And you'll probably not see the outside of the... You better enjoy your child day because it's going to be the last time you're going to see the outside. Especially if they get them to admit to kidnapping, attempted theft. I don't know, extortion. There's probably a lot of stuff. I'm just throwing out random legal words.
A little things, yeah.
I don't know if those would all apply, but there would be something, I'm sure.
Oh man, are we supposed to be afraid of Karen? I start laughing every time she comes on screen. I'm like, this chick is funny. She's hilarious.
She's an antiquities dealer. She's queen of cryptocurrency. It's like, like, isn't it pretty well established by now that cryptocurrency is incredibly unreliable?
Yeah, she's the queen of it.
Like,
she is the queen.
And if this bitch has already got that much money, why does she need more?
That is a good question. Maybe it's the thrill. Maybe she likes the thrill of the adventure of it all. Who knows? Either way, I think she's hilarious, Miss Karen.
Oh, did you like the backstory, by the way, when they were talking about hiding the relics? It's a group of indigenous women.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, of course, it had to be the women.
That explicit line. It's like,
of course, it had to be the women. TC.
Why couldn't they just say indigenous people? Like, why single out the women specifically? Because girl power?
Yeah, because intersectionalism.
Yeah. Because patriarchy. Because the patriarchy was the one that invaded.
Those colonizers.
Oh,
they were big.
Please,
they were big. Mad.
Somebody say that. Somebody say it, please.
Oh man!
And the one thing I find funny is when she's like, "Well, Texas was part of Mexico," and the guy goes, "Well, you know your history. She's 21. She should know that. That's pretty. Like,
she
that's
should.
Not,
yeah, it's not anything that's
not
like
obscure knowledge.
Oh wow! Like you fucking should know that. Like, yeah.
If you graduated American high school, you should know this.
Yet again, just more reinforcement about how great Jess is. I also noticed that they also were portraying her dad in a negative light. Like the word shady was used a ton in reference to her dad. And even when
the thing is, like,
I was gonna say, even when they found out, even when she found out that dad was a treasure hunter and maybe there was more to that story, still referring to him as a shady dad. I'm just like, come on.
But I mean, clearly the mother was in on it the whole time.
Yeah.
She was the one who wrote that freaking dissertation.
So clearly she knew more, yeah.
So why tell your daughter that her father was shady, especially if you know for a fact he wasn't?
I don't know if it was
he did dangerous things. I don't know. You go ahead.
No, I'm with you. Like you can just be honest and upfront. It kind of you know, like she said that my mom she was like, oh, my mom said that I'm a lot like my dad, and like clearly her dad was a little reckless and impulsive and a treasure hunter, but clearly I guess mom just didn't want that for her. But you could be honest and let her know that instead of, you know, having him being portrayed as like this unreliable, shady individual, you know, who just left her. So, And
Yeah,
when in actuality, this guy like sacrificed his life so you can live.
As far as they know, he blew up.
Right.
As
Right.
far as they know, he blew up trying to save them. Just say your father got involved in some things above his pay grade. Above his. He tried to punch above his weight. He meant well, but a lot of bad things happened, and I don't want you to follow in his footsteps.
There you go. There you go.
That way, it's not. Oh, he was a shady piece of shit.
No. Hollywood's gotta go. Nope, he was a shady piece of shit. He was a shady piece of shit.
Because fathers, am I right?
Yeah. Because oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh shit. Yeah, clearly we're bouncing all around, but it's fine. Episodes 1 and 2 are 2 was no better than episode 1. So I feel like the big things were her finding the letter that the Freemason gave her, and her figuring out that it led to a clue and to this relic. Her having to trade the relic
for her friend,
for her friend's life, for goofy white boy. Like his character reminds me of the character that was in She-Hulk. I don't even remember that fucking guy's name, but he was pretty much cucked and only cared about sneakers. Like pretty much the same character, just
literally the same character.
Yeah,
he's obsessed with shoes too.
Yep, same character. So yeah, she has to trade relic for him. Has tried to come up with this plan, like you said, to get Karen arrested. That failed horribly. She figured out
white boy didn't have any. He didn't have a pair. Like,
oh my gosh, she figures out the puzzle to the relic because, of course, she does. Right? I mean,
immediately.
Yeah, I was just saying she took, and it took no time at all. Like she was on the bus. She figured out that they were tracking her, and then she solved it in like less than 5 minutes. It was remarkable. I'm like, okay,
at least Nicolas Cage, like he already had his theories going in. She didn't know about this shit until literally a day ago.
Exactly. Yeah, at least Nicolas Cage, one, he was older, right? So he a professor, and he was already pretty knowledgeable. So it would make sense to me that he'd be like, oh, this took place and that took place to reference this clue that may reference that clue. So, and it's like it was just a progression of how I figured it out. She's 21 years old, barely knows shit about life, didn't know anything about the Aztecs or the symbols, yet she's able to just figure it out
in a matter of minutes.
In a matter of minutes. I'm like, if this is not a Mary fucking Sue, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. In any event, she figures it out. So she has to trade for the friend. The friend comes back. What the fuck even happens after that? I don't even. After in episode 2,
they have pizza, and the goofy white boy like completely like orgasms when he eats a piece of pizza. Like,
right, he's almost jizzing himself. He's like, oh my god, the pizza! Good. I'm like, I'm like, oh my god, this show is definitely giving me fucking CW vibes, like for sure, through and through. So the black chick ends up trying to look up who Karen is, and then Jess, I don't even know where she even went. I don't know if she was this the part
that
when
was when she went to work and got fired.
Right, she went to work, got fired. Then, wasn't she looking for another job? Or she went to
and she ended up working with the grandson of the guy that wait was the guy that died supposed to be the guy from the first National Treasure movie who said
I
somebody's
think
got to go to
so.
prison? Was that supposed to
Yeah, I think that was him. Yes, I think that was him. He was that guy.
be? Okay, so his
Sandusky or
grandson.
Sandusky. Mhm.
Since when is he a treasure hunter? He works for the government. That was his only real concern.
Yeah, I didn't
Was
think
doing
I
right
didn't
by
think
the law. He doesn't give a shit
right.
about treasure hunting.
I didn't think he was. I was like, he was trying to stop Nick Cage. So unless he like, because of what was going on, he became like enamored and fascinated with that world. So maybe he decided to look into it himself. That's the only explanation I can think of. But because he wasn't a part of that, like he didn't participate in that in the movies. So that was very odd to me as well. It was very odd to me as well.
He was just like, they were just like, oh, there's a treasure beneath your feet. Well, that's really awesome, but somebody's got to go to prison. Oh, if you got a helicopter, I can help you with that. Like, and that was well played, but I mean, nothing so overtly against the law that they would have record of it.
Right.
But there's a big difference between that and being a treasure hunter, protector, whatever.
Yes.
He was just a normal guy. And
whose grandson hates him, by the way.
Whose grandson hates him. So yeah, it's basically can we call this guy Anti-Cage?
We can call him Anti-Cage.
Instead of being enamored with his grandfather's shit, he's like, stay away from me. So the clearly supposed to be boyfriend is going to be Anti-Cage.
Yeah. He's going to be Anti-Cage, the struggling guitarist who can't get a gig, who's has unrealistic dreams, according to his mom. She's like shot him down quick. She's like, maybe you need to not be a guitarist.
And the thing was, like, you know what the funniest part is? When they work at the bar and the guy's like, oh, we're not doing live music anymore, and the guy's like really crushed. I'm like, you really didn't see this coming? To me, it makes sense. You had one person you've done live music and you've had literally one person listen the entire time.
The couple of times we actually see him do the music, no one gives a shit. No one's paying attention but one person. And then he's like, really? We're going to stop? You don't want to do live music anymore? It's like, come on.
I mean, it'd be different if it was at least somewhat popular. But literally, she's the only one who listened the entire time. And he's really good.
He should have saw that coming. But the plot needed him to not be a musician so he could be Anti-Cage and and be like, you know what? I need money. I need this treasure. Let me help out Jess in this quest. So I can.
The FBI guy have enough time to build a secret lab in his. Like a secret compartment's one thing, but he built an entire
very elaborate extra room. Yeah, it was just like another room entirely. Oh,
I'm like,
man.
they do realize that this isn't the Gates family, right? They do realize he's just associated with them vaguely because he was the FBI agent in charge of their case.
Oh man, I loved how the entire house, the exterior of their house looked like a piece of shit, but the inside of the house was immaculate. And then now this bookcase, he's got a whole fucking separate room. Oh, and apparently this house is being watched by Karen somehow. So
yeah, it's being watched by Karen, and they can't sell it for 2 years. I'm like, okay, so wait 2 years. It's worth millions of dollars, clearly. Like
exactly,
it's a castle. It's like you're fine. Literally get a get a bullshit job for 2 years. Sell that house. You're made for life.
And be done. Yeah, and be done with it. Like, relax.
Also,
But no.
Auntie Cage pissed me off when he was like, "Oh, Grandpa screwed me over from beyond the grave." He gave you a brilliant, beautiful house. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, if anything, Grandpa was trying to fucking help you, bro. He was trying to help you out. Like, come on, like, yeah. Auntie Cage, he's gonna be a fun character, isn't he? He's gonna be great. Him and the guy from She-Hulk and the black chick and the Asian and the
Asian dude
United
is the only one with an actual brain.
Yeah, the age of go figure, right?
He's the only one smart enough to be like, maybe we should mess with this if people are trying to kill us.
Maybe we should walk away from this, I don't know. Then there'd be no show.
Oh, my dad protected the treasure. Also, they protected the treasure. I'm like, well, for what though? What purpose does protecting the treasure serve?
Yeah, like
protecting it from what or for what? Which
I was a little confused about. I'm like, so are we protecting it? Are we trying to find this treasure in a sense of relocating it and protecting it? Are we trying to find it just to find it? Like, what are we doing with it? Like, that's kind of murky to me. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. Like, what are they trying to do exactly with the treasure? Like, clearly Auntie Cage wants to keep it, but
yeah, Auntie Cage wants to keep it. FBI dude was clearly referring to actual Cage when he was like, I knew people like your father. But right. How does he know the significance of that symbol? Because he clearly doesn't. I'm 90% sure when he says I knew people like him, he's referring to actual Cage and Riley.
Right.
Who, to the best of my recollection, never had a symbol like that. They were just following the leads.
Yeah. Yeah. I was confused on that too. I also loved how when she went back into his office after FBI agent dies, right, under mysterious circumstances. Yeah. She goes back to the office and goes to the bookcase, knocks a book down, and of course, the book she knocks down, it opens to the page that has the symbol on her necklace. I'm like, oh wow, that's real convenient. Like, and real.
Did you want me to find this? I'm like, no, because if he wanted you to find it, he would have just given it to you when he would have.
Yeah, he would have gave you the book and marked it. Like, I'm like, wow, everything's gonna come easy to this bitch. Like, everything's gonna come easy to her. That's the vibe I'm picking up from this show.
Yeah, and but seriously, this show hurts my soul.
It hurts mine as well. And honestly, I don't even know how many episodes there are in this season. Like, I don't know,
but it's either going to be really long or really short because they actually had hour-long episodes.
Oh yeah,
which is longer than most of the D+ shows. So
yeah, it's longer than a lot of content on there. I was quite surprised when I saw that too. I was like, oh, this is not what I anticipated. Like, I thought we were going to get like She-Hulk minutes were like 24, 25 minutes. But in actuality, like 19 or 20 because of credits. So I'm like, oh, okay, but nope. Like hour long. I'm like, fuck. Okay.
They either have a lot of faith in this or which they shouldn't.
I was going to say they shouldn't, but all right, whatever floats their boat, I guess. But yeah, we pretty much summed up episodes 1 and 2. Like, that's.
Oh, there was Friendly FBI Agent. We forgot about Friendly FBI Agent.
Oh, Friendly FBI Agent Wayman. She, yeah.
They're told not to tell any of the cops because Karen has what's his name. And so she goes, well, they didn't say anything about the feds. Let's go to the FBI. And meanwhile, Black Chick was like, we can't tell them because you'll be deported, which reasonable concern. But clearly lying to the feds is a very, very bad idea. And she did that without blinking, and she wasn't convincing either.
Without hesitation. Yeah, and not convincing at all. Like, clearly, this agent saw through their shit. Like, saw straight through it. And it's like, come on. Like, I get the fact that, you know, your friend, you don't want to compromise her and, you know, her situation. But, I mean, your boy just got kidnapped. Like, I guess you both didn't have to go in. You know what I mean? I don't know.
At that point, yeah. And that's the other thing. Why is Black Friend worried? Like, why doesn't Black Friend go in? No. Wait. Black Friend is afraid that the police will frame her for being part of a riot. That was another thing that drove me freaking nuts.
Oh, yeah. She. Oh, my dude.
How much you want to bet we're going to get some sort of ACAB messaging, too?
I was ready for her to be like, oh, I can't get a loan from the bank. I was ready for that shit to happen.
They're going to frame us for being in a riot.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Can't wait for episode 3.
1 second. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, man. Any last words, sir?
Bring back the original. Just, you know what? Just ignore this show. Just watch the movies. I mean, like, even the second one. Even the second one, which wasn't nearly as good, but
yeah, come to us for the episode reviews. Ignore the show, but watch the movies. That's what we can say. That's how we feel on that matter. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think about National Treasure. Have you seen the show yet? If not, that's fine. We've pretty much covered everything. Share this video out there, hit that bell for notifications, and you guys take care. And remember, it's not National Treasure, it's a natural disaster.
Hear, hear.